The fanfare trumpeters of the RAF have now taken up a position high above the choir screen. To the music of William Walton's Orb and Sceptre, a march composed in 1953 for the Queen's coronation. The cross-bearers, the vergers, the chapter of St. Paul's canons and lay canons, followed by the Bishop of London and the Archbishop of Canterbury, make their way from the high altar to the dome altar, where the Queen and the rest of the royal family here will join their procession back to the Great West Doors. This time, all the royals here today will join in that procession behind the Queen. The Dean and Chapter of St. Paul's once again form a semicircle in front of the dome altar, where they will formally bow out their sovereign before taking their place in the procession. The bow acknowledged. The Archbishop there, who spoke today of 6 decades of living proof that public service is possible and that it is a place where happiness can be found. The Lord Mayor of London, once again, holds the pearl sword in front of the sovereign, and he will lead her out. the always colourful sight of the kings of arms, heralds and pursuivants, with their ceremonial staves in their right hands. The Queen has said publicly that during those 6 decades of service, she has been sustained by her faith. This morning was not a duty. This would, for her, have been a highlight of this Jubilee weekend. At every major landmark in her long reign, this is where she has chosen to join the nation in giving thanks. The pleasure of it lessened, but I suspect only slightly, by the absence of the Duke of Edinburgh, the man she's publicly called her strength and stay all these years. She would, of course, have dearly loved him to have shared this moment. The whole of the royal family now leaving their seats and following the Queen out through the great west doors. The festivities today and, of course, over this whole weekend, leaving her and her family needing no convincing of her place in the nation's affections, nor of the depth of the nation's gratitude. The Lord Mayor of London would normally see the Sovereign to her car, but in a few minutes' time he must be at the Mansion House to greet her at a reception. So he will quickly excuse himself. If he can't be there for the departure, he will at least be there for the arrival. A thank you to her Archbishop. The bells of St. Paul's pealing in the daylight, if not necessarily in the sunshine. The Garter King of Arms there on the right, the Lion King of Arms from Scotland on the left of your picture. A thank you to the chapter and the clergy and those who have made this service so wonderful today. And the cheers of a happy and enthusiastic crowd complete a perfect picture. She has given thanks. The nation has given thanks for what the Archbishop so aptly called 60 years of utterly demanding yet deeply joyful service. An afternoon of celebration awaits.
And genuinely a moment in history. Those gathered around the steps of St. Paul's Cathedral will take this memory home and talk to their families about it. They were there on the day the Queen celebrated her Diamond Jubilee.
She's just pausing now at the point where Queen Victoria stopped in her Diamond Jubilee. There's a little plaque on the floor, and that's what she's just being shown.
A moment for the Queen to reflect on the history of monarchy too. And the state Bentley awaits her, as does her lady-in-waiting who has accompanied her this morning so far, Lady Diana Farnham. And we see the Queen disappear there into the interior of the Bentley. And the crowd still waving their flags. And the Dean of St Paul's will be so happy that this has passed off so spectacularly.